Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I told you that mistakes will occur and incidents will come up in which the Russians and some idiots will get in a live ammunition exchange, if you know what I mean. Well, it happened in the English Channel. A Russian frigate opened fire, shot, warning shots on another vessel approaching it. Dangerously close. According to the Russians, I have about 6 articles on that subject. I will probably only read one plus a paragraph and the other one's just the headlines. Then we find out that the Ministry of Defense investigates after Russian warship fires warning shots at British vessel. Zelenskiy says G7 leaders agree Russia is losing and Russia should make a deal. Interesting. And the last topic for this video, supposedly FBI foils drone attack plot at Trump's White House UFC event. Oh my God, really? Thank you, Nostradamus. Always after the fact. Thank you very much. Why don't you tell me before the fact? Can you do that for me? Or at least, not before the fact, but at least while it's happening. It's always after. We have foiled it, but everything is safe. We kept it safe. I don't believe it. They supposedly tried to use drones with explosives to attack Donald Trump, but hey, they were all apprehended before it happened because our men and women in uniform are protecting us. Either we are so fucking controlled that these guys know every time I fart in a bathtub, or it's a lie. There's no in between, it seems like. So let's start with the first topic. Russian frigate fires warning shots on civilian yacht in the English Channel. What is England gonna do? Are they gonna attack them? What do you think? So, let's see. The UK Ministry of Defense is investigating reports that the Russian naval frigate, which is true, fired warning shots on a yacht in the English Channel after it approached the vessel. The incident, which reportedly occurred at around 11:40 on Tuesday, 16th of June, between the Isle of Wight and Normandy, is believed to have involved the Russian frigate Admiral Grigorovich. Alright, let's see where that is located. Alright, so we have this Great Britain here. And if I remember correctly, the Isle of Wight should be this little thing here. Let me see. Yeah, this is the Isle of Wight national landscape. So from between that and this, so somewhere in here it occurred, under the nose of England. What England will do, we'll find out, right? The UK Coast Guard received a report from a British flagged civilian yacht sailing near the Russian warship. According to the yacht crew, Admiral Grigorovich fired a warning shot after the two vessels passed close to one another in the English Channel. No one was injured in the incident and the yacht sustained no damage, a spokesman Pak. Alright, that's the first one. DPA warning shots fired from Russian warship at vessel in English Channel. Let's see what the Russians are saying. Russian frigate fires warning shots in English Channel. The Admiral Grigorovich fired the shots at a last resort, the Russian Defense Minister said. A Russian vessel fired warning shots near a British yacht sailing on a dangerous trajectory in the English Channel. Alright, adding that the shots were fired when all other options had been exhausted. The Admiral Grigorovich was sailing in international waters between the Isle of Wight and Normandy shortly before midday on Tuesday, when its crew spotted a civilian yacht, the Bright Future, sailing on a dangerous course that would bring it into close proximity with a warship. The Russian crew tried and failed to reach the yacht by radio before firing signal flares and sounding a siren, neither of which succeeded in changing its course. The guys were fucking on the yacht, that's what it was. Or it was full of explosives. Which one? When the yacht came within 150 meters, that's about 170 yards. Or there's about, let's say, 450 feet. The commander of the Admiral Grigorovich decided to fire warning shots across its bow with small arms. Following this, the British-flagged yacht immediately altered course and moved away from the Russian warship. So that means they knew they were going over there, or they interrupted the fuck and they went on their course. The ministry said, adding that the Russian crew acted in strict compliance with international navigation rules and took all necessary measures to prevent an incident. Got it? Got it. Let's see what Sputnik says. British yacht sailed dangerously close to Russian frigate in English Channel. Russian Ministry of Defense, the same information. New Voice of Ukraine, the Ukrainians, Russian frigate fires warning shots at yacht in English Channel, but international waters, remember? So this is the beautiful vessel. And they say the same thing, Pakatsaka, but hey, the Grigorovich, one of Vladimir Putin's Black Sea Fleet ships, because he owns it. Fuck off, man. I heard this in Ceausescu's times. You are just tyrants. Has been present near British waters for some weeks. Okay, next one. Ministry of Defense investigating after Russian warship fires warning shots at British yacht. So probably the Russians were at fault and the Russians would not give a fuck or a flying fuck. Let's go to the big liar. Zelenskiy said, according to Reuters, the G7 leaders agree Russia is losing and should make a deal. All right. So that is how delusion or echo chamber works. We are together here, we plan, we want to fight, and we all convince one another, and we try to convince everybody else that our plan works, and we're winning, and the Russians are losing. Well, for me, Russia is losing only when it's losing land, or a revolution breaks out over there. That's all. Until then, Russia is not losing. Russia loses, the other guys win and Russia collapses. So that's the only loss of Russia. When Russia collapses, that's when it loses. Until then, I don't think so. So these guys tell us that it should make a deal. And why would they just announce to everybody else, do you think? Why do you think Zelensky would say that? What do you think that Zelensky would make? First, why is Zelensky at the G7? Why is this guy even talking? Why is this guy still breathing, making shadow to the earth? Well, because he's doing what he's supposed to, which is following the orders. So first, let me be the judge of that. I don't need you to tell me what Russia is doing. I think Russia is not winning, but its victory is not collapsing. That is, by not collapsing, that's its victory. But hey, Russia should make a deal. And all the media, according to Reuters, will pick up on that. It's like tomorrow Putin says, well, we're winning. Do you think Reuters will pick that up? Do you think Associated Press will publish that? Or New York Times, or Washington Post, or BBC, or Deutsche Welle, or Agence France Presse, all these fuckers? Do you think they're going to say, yes, Putin said that? They will just mock that. Why? We all know it's not true. They're not interested in finding the truth. They are interested in reaching their goals by all means necessary, like Malcolm Little used to say, which is Malcolm X. All right, and the last one. I don't believe this kind of statements, just so you know. FBI foils drone attack plot at Trump's White House UFC events. A group of individuals that FBI found and they were surveilling it had allegedly planned a major terror attack on the Combat Sports Extravaganza. The FBI foiled the plot to attack a UFC event attended by US President Donald Trump over this weekend. Patel said, hey Patel, is your girlfriend still having that protection from FBI that we're paying for? Or are you using that airplane, the FBI planes, to transport your butt for her whatever garbage she has? Alright, he's not gonna say that. The title fight staged at Pop Trump's, according to multiple US media reports citing FBI officials. The agency uncovered the alleged plot last week. That was fast. And arrested at least 5 suspects. The group is accused of planning to use explosive-laden drones to attack the events, trigger mass panic, and then target fleeing spectators with sniper fire. Investigators say the suspects also intended to storm the White House gates and breach. Why? Why would you enter the White House? Why? Why would you? Was it Mossad? This is a big lie. The suspects intended to storm the White House gates and breach the compound. Patel confirmed the reports, saying the plot was uncovered on June 10 and the FBI, working with partner agencies, is that Mossad, the partner agency? I would like to know. Moved quickly to prevent what he described as a planned attack on the historic UFC garbage event, thanks to our rapid pakapa pre-operational zoopy. So, was it a false flag operation? Could be. Could have been a Mossad operation? We're never going to find out. Was it an Iranian operation? I don't think so. Why? The Iranians will avoid doing anything to the American public. Why? So these guys cannot have, these guys being the sold traitors, mass media, telling us, the American people, that we were attacked by those guys right when we were having peace. Therefore, Israel should be defended forever and ever with your blood and your money. All right. Now, is it possible? Listen. I don't believe that attack occurred or was even planned. I tell you why. I am a normal human being, right? So I'm not a fantastic anything in that respect. But I can think as a normal human being, not a genius, not a spy, not a special forces, anything like that, that if someone really wants 5 guys to conduct that operation and never be found out by FBI, CIA, Mossad, and anybody else, they can organize that in one day and be successful. I am under the 99.9% conviction that is possible. All right? So, I don't think so. Are they using phones? Are they speaking in front of cameras? How are these guys communicating? All right, you know what I mean? Are you under supervision? They're gonna meet in the fucking woods, man. Sit there naked with their Speedos. Sit and with the sprays against mosquitoes, and they will discuss it. There's no fucking way FBI will find a satellite or a drone to listen to the fucking conversation. And they need to have about 5 of those. Let's give them. Do you think they're going to catch them? 5 of those in 48 hours. I'm just exaggerating. They will never find it. Never. Purchasing the drones, the southern border is like a Schweizer. It's like a Swiss cheese. These guys can bring, with one drone can bring hundreds of drones over and over low altitude, over the southern or northern border from Canada as well. They can bring hundreds of drones and explosives with drones. These guys will never detect them. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, what I'm saying is very easy. I'm not supporting that. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying that I don't allow my intelligence to be insulted by some fucking FBI agents. All right? That's the way they look, most of them, just so you know. Anyway, I don't allow myself. Let them come. I'm just saying it's baboonish. But for people who watch movies, and lately the movies are the FBI, CIA, NSA, and the police are the fantastic, good-looking guys that fuck all the women in the neighborhood, go and meet a few agents, and you're going to convince yourself how smart and how handsome they are. Pretty? Anyway, it depends. Sometimes they need to be pretty so they can fuck and get the information. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.